What the hell is poppin' YouTube? LTH coming at you with a video. Victory Sunday video at that. 713 the Bio City. We in the freaking building. So, as I see, the Houston Texans demolished the LA Chargers by a score of 32-12 in dominating fashion. Despite, their own slow starts, especially offensively, when they wasn't getting anything cranking offensively, you know, up until like mid to late in the second quarter when the offense finally decided to turn up the heat a notch. But though, I feel like this win was led by the defense, and the running game. I mean, and yeah, Stroud was pretty solid, you know, even though he was close to, two interceptions, but of course, though, Derwin James didn't maintain possession, which along with the boneheaded penalty by Joe Mixon, which, pushed him back a little more forward further. And yeah, I gotta admit, as they say, gotta take the good with the bad. Since the Texans had boneheaded penalties at times, along with, with some giveaways of three. Two of them were fumbles and one was a boneheaded pick by Stroud. You know, got to find a way to clean those up. Whether we play Baltimore or KC next, I got to say, they got some things they got to clean up. And I feel like Bobby Slower coached a solid game. Had his share of his moments of play calling, and Nico balled out as well. Got him a TD, just like Joe Mixon got him a rushing TD. Had himself, over 100 yards, after being bottled up in much of the first half, but found a way to kick it into full gear in the second half. And the defense, though, they balled out, man. They really showed out. Aside from that 86-yard TD catch by McConkey they gave up, Lad McConkey, who finished for almost 200 yards, which was the biggest Achilles heel that Texans defense was Lad McConkey. But outside of that, the defense was swarming, sacked Justin Herbert 4 times, 2 sacks by Will Anderson, 1 by Mario Edwards, and 1 by Danico Autry, who also had him a blocked extra point, which was returned by D'Angelo Ross for 2, who blocked a punt. And I gotta say, man, that special teams is something nice with Frank Ross as their special teams coordinator, who been under the staffs of David Culley, Lovie Smith's staff. I mean, damn. That special teams was something nice to see. Just like the defense, who had picked off Herbert 4 times. The first pick was caught by Kamari Lassiter. Even though they didn't capitalize, the offense once again stalled. And then, the second pick was caught by Eric Murray, which was returned for a pick 6. And then, or the second pick, second pick by Murray. Then Stingley caught him a pick of his own, which was nearly a pick 6 number 2, only to be stopped short of that. But then the fourth and final pick was caught by Stingley. I feel like that defense was making life miserable for Justin Herbert. And like I said, if you harass the hell out of Justin Herbert, keep him uncomfortable in their pocket, not just the defense, but the team got a chance to make some noise. And I got to say, they did just that. They did absolutely just that. And I got to say, Eric Murray stepped up, who I name as my unsung hero of the game. Shout out to him because of his pick six. And of course, got to need him to keep stepping it up, you know. And it's crazy how the defense still find ways to swarm, even without key players in Jalen Petrie and Jimmy Ward, who, which sucks that they had season-ending injuries. I mean, it would have been nice for them to play in this wild card round, which would have been an added boost, but have to wait until next season. And just like, oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze for right quick, but just like it would have been nice to see Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell play in this playoff round, but because of the season and the injury, it's unfortunate that we couldn't see him in action. Tank Dell, who's I understand is going to be out for 2025. But Nico was the leading receiver with a $122. Xavier Hutchinson, who had that 34-yard reception on a busted play. Dalton Schultz, had some catches. Cade Stover, Joe Mixon, and Deontay Johnson had him a catch as well. Got to get him more involved. And, the O-line was pretty solid, decent, even though they gave up 3 sacks. Two of the 3 sacks was from Khalil Mack, who is still a baller, and Joey Bosa, who got him a sack on Stroud. And of course, the Chargers got an interception. Deanne Leonard, who found a way to keep both feet in, which is pretty nice. But Stroud can't be making them boneheaded throws, which is going to lead to easily being picked off, because that's what's going to do him in. But like I say, thankfully their defense did what needed to be done. And I feel like this defense is going to give this Texans team the best chance of a deep playoff run. But as they say, easier said than done. But in order for that to happen, it all starts with, maintaining that same intensity and, of course, cleaning up some mistakes, for their next playoff game. But other than that, I can't take nothing away from the Chargers. They had a pretty good year. Obviously it had to end the way it did at the hands of the Texans, but I can't be too mad at them though. At the Chargers, got a bright future ahead of them with Jim Harbaugh as their head coach. Just got to upgrade their roster. Chargers keep roster upgrades away from, future long-term success. Obviously, they have to still deal with the Chiefs in that division, AFC West. But, if they can, do what they make the right moves this upcoming offseason, this Chargers team going to be fun to watch for years to come. Same could be said about Houston. I can see the AFC being even more stacked. Only thing is, just got to deal with Patrick Mahomes. And I know everybody wants to, stop Patrick Mahomes from a three-peat. But, hey, I wouldn't be surprised unless the Broncos find a way to upset the Bills today. I wouldn't be surprised if Houston ends up facing KC. Because I know I wouldn't be surprised if KC beats Houston again realistically. But in my heart, I would love to see Houston in KC's shot at the three-peat deep down in my heart. But hey, only time will tell, as they say. Because I'll say this right now. The key to beating the Kansas City Chiefs is playing a mostly clean game. Clean and efficient game. That's how I look at it. But that's all there is to it, though. But till my next video, shout out to LA Original. Shout out to Jordan Trask. If I said it right. And Modog, shout out to you. And shout out to the Chargers fans. that rep their team, not just within LA, but also in Houston, Texas as well. Also got to give a shout out to the Houston Texans faithful, that went to the game and represented it. And also, got to pray for the city of Los Angeles, with the wildfires that's going on, and destroying homes and claiming lives. I pray that this, all the wildfires get put out real soon, because man, those wildfires out there is scary as hell, brutally scary. And I just hope everyone, praying for a speedy recovery for Los Angeles, for the city itself. But hey, that's all I wanted to put out, as far as my 2 cents in on the game, and of course, brief 2 cents in about the wildfires. So yeah, to my next video, LTH checking on up out of here. 713 to Bio City, and we out. Go Houston, Texas.